So I'm going to use, whoop. Now that I'm here, I need to deselect. So I'm going to go edit and deselect all. So that's not selected. And now I'm going to go to my eraser tool. And right now it's a 50. So I can make, if I click on that, I can make it bigger. I can have like 200. So you can see how big that is going to be. So I can make it a little bigger than the 50, make it 70. So there's a way to get a bigger size. The other thing, if I wanted to erase sections of text that were square, I can go in with that marquee tool and I can just draw one of those squares around and hit the backspace or delete, and that will also delete sections. So there's a few different ways to get the text as white as possible around him. So what we're just trying to do is just clear the space so that we can select the cat without selecting anything else. So I think this one's probably good. So I can draw these little squares around, or I can use the eraser tool. So there's all different ways that you can try and get the cat by itself. And then the other thing, so let me go back to the eraser tool. So this opacity, so sometimes when I go in close to things, I like to switch so the edges have like these fuzzy edges. So do you see how this, so I'm going to click on that so you can see the difference. So when I go in and I erase, it will, I have the deselection on again. So let me do that, edit, or the selection tool. I have to deselect that. So when I erase with the fuzzy edges, it makes it so that the lines aren't as crisp when you come next to something. So see how it looks a little faded? So that can be helpful if you're worried about getting in too close and making the edges too sharp. So sometimes I like those little faded edges. But right now when I'm trying to erase big sections, I don't like to have that faded brush. I like to have a brush that has the solid. I'm going to go back to the default. They have that as 50. So I'm just going to continue to erase for a little bit. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to come back when I have it all erased. Well, that's a little weird. It's not erasing. It's doing a little strange something.
Hey.
Let's see.
Hey, I'm a little hungry, so I'm gonna make myself some eggs and then come up to do the essay. Do you want to have any eggs?
Okay, so here I am back with my cat, and you can see that I've erased lots of things, and I made sure that I switched the brush tool. So as I got closer to the cat, I used a 20 with that little faded on the outside. And so that let me get in close to the cat and really get those to make it so there wasn't as tight edges, so there weren't like any jagged pieces. You can see I kind of didn't do a great job around here, but pretty well. I think I did a pretty good job. So now I'm going to go back to the magic wand tool and I'm going to select the white area. So you see what happens is I have the marching ants all around the outside and I have the marching ants around the cat. So if I did Control C and copied this and went over here, it would copy everything except for the cat. And that's not at all what I want. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. And when I'm over here, I'm going to do something called Edit Invert Selection. So it's going to take the opposite. So for me, that was a lot quicker than trying to select the cat. And I'm going to copy and paste over, and then I'll show you what it would have been like if I tried to select the cat. But if I do Control C to copy, I go over here and do Control V. So here's my kitty cat. And then you can see, okay, I didn't do that great of a job. I thought I did a much better job than that. But still, I got pretty close to the cat. And I can move the cat over here. And I can also resize the cat. So I can do that free transform. And because I just selected everything, so I can just shrink the cat down a little bit. And now say, yes, I want to apply my change. So that's the last picture, and then I would go and I would save that, and it would be, I would probably call it Cat Wand maybe. So I'm going to do File, Save. And instead of Beach Lasso Cat, I'm going to call it Beach Wand Cat. And hit OK. And I'm going to wait to make sure that the file is being put in the right spot. So I'm waiting for my file to come up. Let's see what path it is. It should be remembering the last one I went to. Perfect. So it's in the Lesson 3 selection tool. So now I can just hit Save. For whatever reason tonight, my save, there we go. So now it's saved. Now I want to show you, I'm going to deselect this, and I'm going to just want to show you, deselect, if I tried to use the magic wand tool. Why did my deselect not work? All right, let me try it again. Control D. So if I tried to use the magic wand tool, and right now it has a 13 on the cat, do you see it? It's not getting all the cat. So I could, increase that number a bit, and let's see if that helps. I'm going to hold the Shift key down, but I'm still going to have to do a lot of clicking. So I'm hoping that you're seeing that this is a lot more work, and I can keep going, okay, so it's not too bad. But sometimes if you can get the area around your image all white and then do the inverse selection like I showed you before, it's a little bit quicker and you're going to do a better job. So like right now, there's pieces of this cat missing. So if I did a copy and I pasted the cat over here, you can see that there's like little parts in the middle where, whoops, I did not mean to pick that. So I'm going to deselect, no big deal. So there's little pieces of the cat that didn't get selected, like part of the face is gone, part of this eye is not here. So it didn't do as good of a job selecting the cat as when I went back over here. And I'm going to deselect. And if I use the magic wand tool to pick the white, and then I did edit, invert selection, that's the best way to, if you can get it white around and then select the cat that way. So your next task is to find 2 images that you're going to combine together of your own, and you're going to save it into the same folder. And if you have any problems, just email me. Thanks.